Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Demon Souls. Today we're going to be finishing the rest of 3-1, the Prison of Hope, in the Tower of Latria, one of the game's most atmospheric levels. Okay, you are not clever, friend. And he was never going to survive to be able to push us off a ledge, so... Wow, that was a much louder sound effect than I was expecting. Kind of made me jump a little bit. So every now and then, some of these Iron Maidens will contain an enemy who will jump out and stab you. Do I have a bow on me? I mean, that item is not a big deal, but I do not have a bow with me. So I can't get the corpse down. That pervasive singing that we've been hearing is getting louder. And speaking of that song, this is a new one, by the way. This is not the original song that is sung in the PS3 version of the game. I think this might be the ending credits song for one of the credits. Oh, almost got away with that. I dodged like 3 stabs at once. They're pretty persistent, though. Okay, I think we can traipse on out of this cell and move closer to the source of that singing. It's through the crack in the wall. Oh, like that. And he poisons you. Yeah, this is the right one. Okay. Tricksy they are. Think if we're quick enough? Yeah, look at that backstab. That one looked a little bit off. And now we get the 4th floor cell key and the 4th floor key. And whenever you're walking along these narrow balconies, be very, very careful. There are a lot of pitfalls. One of them leads you back to the beginning of the level. Most of them are death traps. And this level has some pretty fiendish, diabolical ways to bait you in. This one is dressed more like a noble or a mage. And this one is wearing the attire of an assassin. Thin cloth mask, used by thieves. Okay, I don't think we... Oh, that looks really good. Hey, finally something I can wear, while still getting to see my very cool glowy green eyes. I can't tell if this song sounds more or less melancholy than the original. It's got a bit of a dirge quality to it. We should be good. Oh no, that didn't stagger him. So we finally get to see this. That's a nasty grab. Oh! That's a bad attack to get hit by, too. Everything he does knocks you down or paralyzes you. That's why we've been having a pretty easy time with them so far, but all it takes is one or two mistakes for them to actually get kind of scary. And it picks up again. Okay, let's not give this one... I thought that would be a backstab. I was too far away, though. Let's not give this one a chance to really ruin our days. And also... I think we're going to start on this side. There she is. The singer.
You're still intact, aren't you? Where do you call home? Dear me, I shouldn't pry. Oh, perhaps you'd like something from my collection. I've known better days. I was once the wife of nobility, and I have some nice things to show for it. Before, there were many others trapped here, but they were driven mad, and ventured above of their own volition. Redemption. There exists no such thing. The Queen banished that depraved old man from the land. He returned in strange golden garb with foul demons in tow. They pillaged great Latria, land of the learned, and shut us away in this prison. Since then, they've been feeding off our souls, telling us over and over that if we go above, we will be granted redemption. I know the truth. The church goddess may die, but never for long. We are trapped below forever. Redemption. There exists no such thing. Telling us over and over.
The church goddess may die, but never for long. Also, we get this, a Ring of Avarice. Luxurious gold ring fitted with a large jewel, increases the number of souls obtained from slain enemies, once a symbol of wealth and debauchery.
Well, that's quite all right. I wish to stay here, but I need souls to remain sane. As you know, of course. I've known better days. The church goddess, we are trapped below. Well, I wish to stay here.
So she is of the nobility, but she is not the deposed queen of Latria. Watch the open railing here. Be careful about it. Oh, that's not what killed him. There is also a pitfall right there. It's very easy to just thoughtlessly wander over a pit in this. That's why, as always with the Souls games, it pays to be observant, patient, and cautious. Ooh. And you know, for being imprisoned, the once royal mistress, or no, not the once royal mistress, the once royal... What is her actual title? It's the wife of nobility or something to that extent. For former nobility, they really let her keep a lot of precious gems and fineries in her cell. Fat lot of good that does her, but still, it's just kind of, damn it, intriguing to see her surrounded by precious gems and the like, and fine clothes. While also being so horrifically scarred. Presumably by the demons who imprisoned her. She mentioned the queen banished the king Oh, crafted by Gary, known for his magical handicrafts. Close acquaintance with Sage Freke the Visionary. Seal depicts a man facing left. I believe this is the second or third reference we've gotten to Gary. We will actually learn a little bit more about him in Latria. But she mentioned that the king was exiled by the queen, and he returned wrapped in some golden garment and backed by a legion of demons. And what came next is, well, we're walking through it and it's pretty self-evident. This junction is bad for me, where you can continue onto the third floor or go one floor down. That stairway is what gets me confused so often in this level. It's why I get turned around a lot, actually. I have historically had a bad time with it. Speaking of Freke, though.
Oh, human, are you? I am Freke. I have been trapped here for an age. Perhaps you could help me out of here. I am a sage, and I can lend you my power in return. Oh, but take heed of those tentacle-headed guards. Perhaps you could help me out of here. I am a sage, and I can lend you... Oh, but...
Again, be wary. There's another crumbled bit of balcony that, if you're not careful, you'll fall down. I think that might be the safe drop, though. I'm not sure. I don't remember. And I'm not eager to experiment and find out. By the time we're done with this level, with 3-1, we will have the key to let Freke out. There is another NPC we can rescue, but we will not be able to do that yet. So that's the first floor cell key and the first floor key. Neither of which unlock either of these two gates. And this one requires no key. So for now, there's nothing else we can do. Except go forward to another one of these junctions. Item will exceed carry capacity because it's 5 pounds over what I can carry. Or no, it's 5 pounds total. It's just more than what I have the capacity for. It's a heavy crossbow and some bolts. So nothing major. And it's a good opportunity. Whoa, I'm liking everything that I'm hearing. Also, I'm gonna want to dip into one of these cells. Shit. This one will work. The ability to send items directly to your item storage with Stockpile Thomas is at least appreciated. But, I talked about equipment burden, right? Well, there's another way in which the weight of items matters, which is your item burden, which limits how much you can carry in your inventory. So counting... Oh, hey, wait, hold on.
Well, you are a sane one, are you not? My name is Rydel. Please, liberate me from this jail.
I swear I thought it was Rydel.
I have precious little time. As you can see, the only thing that remains of me is my soul. My corpse lies in another cell. I fancy it a fine, rotten mess by now. I've no interest in my corporeal flesh, but I left upon my person a keepsake of my late wife. I will soon fade into the beyond. My only wish is to do so near that token of my beloved. A retainer to the king once held the key to this cell. That foul pig with his gluttonous, swaying belly. As you can see, I will...
So that's Rydel the Ghost. And recently, somebody left a comment on my old Demon Souls LP. This blockade of debris, by the way, will not go anywhere until you meet certain conditions, which we'll talk about later. Suffice it to say, we're not going to be able to rescue Rydel on this visit to the Prison of Hope, because we can only get the key off of the NPC that he was describing, and that NPC is not located here. We will get the key for Freke, though. But, like I was saying, somebody left a comment on the old LP, and it's been living in my head rent-free ever since. And it was simply, if Rydel is a ghost, why doesn't he just simply walk through the bars? I think I was talking about item burning. Counting Demon Souls through Sekiro, this is the only game to have this mechanic. And it's self-evident why that is, because it sucks. Every now and then you get this swelling crescendo of the storm, the song, the cries of the prisoners, and it's a lot. It's fantastic. Silver bracelets to match the silver coronet. And then I think this is the fluted helmet, which is also exceeding. Yeah, this is the whole fluted set, which is the armor set you see on the box art for the game. It's the marquee armor set, much like the Faram gear is in Dark Souls 2. So longtime viewers will remember back in the old Let's Play of Demon Souls on the PS3, when I was doing World 2-1, a single piece of grass sent me from being able to walk around fine to being totally over-encumbered. Oh, yes! This is one of my favorite enemy types in the game, just for the pure grotesquerie and body horror of it. This is called the Prisoner's Horde. I mean, you can see it's an amalgamation of prisoners. And also very dangerous. That flailing attack is so spooky and strong. It is an unstoppable warrior. They have created the ultimate soldier. Its defenses are impregnable. Except if you stand far enough away, it will try to cast a soul arrow at you, which is much easier to deal with than this. Oh god. I have to dodge this. Otherwise, this gets real spooky. We're gonna chase this crystal lizard, but we're gonna be careful doing so. Because this is bait. This is great bait. Because it's meant to run all the way forward, keeps going and keeps going, until you get here. It tries to trick you into running off the ledge, and I love that. It's a great trap. So what's really funny about the way that item burden works in this game in particular, in this remake I should say, is that they made the grass heavier. You see, in Demon Souls you ostensibly have infinite healing on demand because of how the types of grasses work. And this is seen as a big point of imbalance. So Bluepoint looked at this and said, we can use item burden to impose a soft limit on how much grass you're able to keep on hand by making it heavier. Which, don't get me wrong, that's actually quite clever. It's good creative problem solving, I appreciate that. But at the same time, I think the grass being physically heavy is hilarious. Just imagining every time you get low on health, you quickly jam like 4 pounds of leaves into your mouth. It's amazing. blades of grass with the density and weight of lead. Okay, now that we made it past the prisoner horde, we kind of have free reign of the first floor. And there are a couple of places that we still need to hit up. Not this hole, of which there are so many. But from here, we're actually going to be able to get outside. And get a better look at what this horrible Lovecraftian sky looks like. I don't think I've ever really taken note of how wild that is. The statue opening up to reveal this massive machine ballista. It'd be like if the Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio opened up and it was actually a gun. Also, these edgewalks are a little bit spooky. I think they may have actually widened these. I'm not sure, though. There's plenty of room, it's just a me problem. I have a history with ledges, and the weight of that history will often get in my head, which is why you will so often see me play hilariously poorly whenever there's a risk I might fall off a ledge. I fixate on it and play worse, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And there's another edgewalk right over here that leads around to, I think these are stones of ephemeral eyes. So those semi-rare items that you use to go back to body form if you die. And now we're going to head to the bridge with the Ballista. So this very first item, you're not really in very much risk picking it up before you've turned the Ballista off. And it's the special key. Or the Warden's key, rather. The special key comes later. So I'm going to test this out. Okay. So I cannot block a full hit and still be okay, so I have to just roll this. 1, 2. Okay, I think I got it. 1. Nope. That was a little bit too late. Ah. That didn't work out. We'll try again. Let's give this another go. I just want to make sure my timing is right. 2. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I picked an item up with my souls and the animation almost got me caught. The trophy pop is why we did this way. And now we can go back and collect all of these items. Clever Rat's Ring. This is quite a nice and fairly important item, especially if you're planning to speedrun the game. A lot of speedruns involve the Clever Rat's Ring route. Plain gold ring with a small animal engraved on the seal. Increases attack power while HP is below 30%. Belonged to Lord Rydel, also known as Allant Errant. He also owned the Dull Rat's Ring, counterpart to this fine piece of jewelry. So when you are at lower than 30% health, you get a massive damage boost with this, known commonly in the Souls community as Hyper Mode. And the bit about Rydel being Allant Errant, is very interesting. King Allant the 12th is the source of this whole mess with the Old One. So now we're going to backtrack. Now we're going to actually go back and do this the way that you're technically supposed to. Oh, right, the prisoner horde respawned. I was like, what the hell? If you don't know, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but all enemies respawn on death. So there are quite a few consequences for dying. There's the body form, soul form stuff. There's the potential to lose all of your souls. Enemies respawn, with a few exceptions. Certain unique enemies will actually usually stay dead, but they're pretty rare. And so what I mean by the intended way of doing this is that Warden's Key was something that was available with very minimal risk. It's your hint that you shouldn't necessarily be going against the grain of all of those bolts flying at you. You're supposed to actually backtrack up here and open these new doors to a new area, and then you will end up behind the Ballista, which is what we're doing now. There's just a trophy that you get in this version for doing it the hard way that I wanted, since we are doing that platinum. Also, the Clever Rat's Ring, I just remembered, it's a bit like the Cat's Ring, in that there used to be a little JPEG rat as the icon, but it wasn't as cute or out of place looking as JPEG cat. Like, it actually looked like it might have been an art asset and not something that somebody, like, clipped off of a stock photo of a cat. And this puts us behind that statue of, I believe that's supposed to be a statue of the Queen. Now we have some lengthy trots along the balconies to do some fairly important stuff, and while we're doing this, I want to talk about this game's influences. Berserk is probably the most widely known and one of the most pervasive influences in From's games over the last decade. Sometimes it homages Berserk or takes inspiration, and sometimes it just lifts pretty heavily. One of the slightly less transparent influences, though, is Steve Jackson's Sorcery and the fighting fantasy books he created along with Ian Livingstone, which are like single-player pen and paper role-playing books. There's a Silver Catalyst. Imperial Spy gear. So there is an Imperial Spy from Boletaria watching over the boss room. This chapel down below. That's an interesting thing to take note of. We'll come back to that later. But these fighting fantasy books, they're choose-your-own-adventure stories with, like, stats and dice and whatnot. And they're also known for being pretty tough, but very rewarding. Damn, I love the architecture of Latria. I would love to know what inspired this place. There's so much documentation for the architectural inspirations of different Soulsborne levels, but I haven't been able to find anything for Latria, which is a shame because this is one of my favorite levels. Anyway, this part I've heard repeatedly secondhand, but I couldn't source the interview, so it might be apocrypha, but the story I've heard is that Miyazaki wasn't allowed to play video games growing up. The game's director, Hidetaka Miyazaki, for those unfamiliar. He wasn't allowed to play video games growing up, but he could play pen and paper stuff and board games. So he got these books that were maybe a little bit too advanced for him when he was younger, but whatever he didn't understand, he would instead fill in a lot of those blanks with his imagination. And that is also a principal source of his infatuation with dark fantasy, and specifically creating dark fantasy works. So the Souls games owe an incredible debt of inspiration to those books. Oh, another fun one is how influential the film Excalibur was on him. The thing that really caught his interest was how slow and heavy the sword fights were. And this key is the special key to free Freke.
What do you want? I am but a humble servant. I do not wish to interfere. I won't cause you trouble. I won't. What do you want? I won't cause you trouble.
He's but a humble servant.
What do you
right?
want? I won't cause you trouble.
Huh? Okay. So when he dies, that yellow ritual circle that he was invoking disappears. We didn't murder some innocent prisoner for no reason. Do not worry. Here, I'm going to jump off the crumbled bit because you can land on... I think this is... Oh, it's just a ledge. I thought it might have been a gargoyle. And get some Widow's Lotus. Now, why do you need Widow's Lotus? It's because of this. Hello. Notice that Phantom has some form of, like, the thief ring or something like that. We'll get back to them, but for now, we're going to take a jaunt up onto Freke. Or up onto the floor Freke's strapped on.
Magnificent. I never expected I might escape alive. My name is Freke. I am known as a sage. I thought to claim a demon's soul or two for the sake of my magic. But just look at me now. I have been enfeebled by my long imprisonment. But I can still move my legs, and I can make it back to the Nexus. I thank the stars that my confinement lasts no longer. I owe you my life. I have been enfeebled, but I can still move.
So for freeing Freke, we get Gary's Stiletto. Though this exceedingly small rapier lacks the cutting edge, it's enchanted by a unique spell, crafted by Gary, known for his magic handicrafts, and friend to Sage Freke the Visionary. Drains a small amount of MP from targets. And now with Sage Freke rescued, we're going to head back on down and re-confront that Black Phantom. Right, this Phantom is not too big of a deal. If you get hit by her melee weapon, you're going to have a bad time, though. So be careful. You can see it's a very short, serrated dagger. She got one hit off, and that's too many. That dagger is called Baby's Nail. And it can inflict plague on you. Alright, and the way is open to the boss of 3-1, the Fool's Idol. I am retrieving my souls because I got myself killed intentionally. I made a slip-up that would have cost me the ability to get a special challenge trophy for this fight. The gimmick of Fool's Idol is that she splits herself into clones and then starts firing soul arrows at you. All of the clones die in one hit, and you can tell which one's which by their soul arrows. The real Fool's Idol has a much larger projectile. This one is the real Fool's Idol. And then once you start hitting her, the others will also dissipate while she teleports away and starts the phase anew. The trophy for this fight? Oh, this is the other thing that you have to watch out for. Those glowing green glyphs on the ground. If you step over them, they paralyze you, and then you can get skewered with multiple soul arrows from multiple angles. And the illusions, their skinnier soul arrows do hurt you. The trophy for this fight is to beat her without thinning the herd, without destroying any of her illusions. So I started the fight over because I did hit one by accident. Whoop. The really nice thing about having the Moonlight Greatsword at this point is that if you block with it, it actually has an enormous amount of magic resistance. So you can block magic attacks really effectively with it. You know, this is the first song that I've heard in the remake that I think is a very, very clear improvement over the original soundtrack. Oh, shit. Yeah, this is the only time the fight can feel a little bit dangerous, is if you step on a glyph. That's part of the good that the Drakelings do wandering around the arena, though, is sometimes they wander over a glyph and reveal where they are. And that one tried to finish me off. That got very scary. The Fool's Idol, by the way, is modeled to look like the Queen of Latria to give the prisoners false hope. And now, before we finish this out, we're going to go around to the back of the altar in the back of the room and pick that item up. Be careful when you go after this item. You want to edge around the outside, because if you go to the front side of the altar, you trigger a cutscene that ends the level. And the item on this corpse is a baby's nail. That's the body of that Black Phantom. Oh, by the way, the other gimmick of the Fool's Idol fight, the reason that we killed the liar up on the balcony working that glyph, is because he would resurrect her over and over. So if you don't kill him before the fight starts... Oh, this looks great! Oh, I can't wait for 3-2! If you don't kill him before the fight starts, he reses the boss when you kill her. Which is what the once royal maiden was referring to. The goddess of the church may die, but not for long. Before I do anything else, I want to make sure that I don't forget to check out the item description on Baby's Nail. This is, I find, to be one of the more macabre items in the game. This dagger, laced with plague, is curved like a talon, often wielded by women and children in assassinations. Even among specialized weapons, this is a particularly dreadful choice. Really recasts the name in a new light, and holy shit, it's a morbid one. baby's nail.
You saved Master Freke, did you not? Then I was right to bend the rules and teach you a few tricks.
I hate this man.
I am grateful to you for your service. Do you see how important selfless acts are in this dreary world? What is it? Are you still begging for magic lessons? Oh, so be it. It's better than having you bother Master Freke. Master Freke prefers to work alone. Do not dare to bother him by gabbing about trifling nonsense. He's on the verge of discovering something that will rival even the demon souls. He's on the verge of discovering something.
I have a proposal for you. Could you bring your demon souls to me? As I determine more about the essence of the soul, I can teach you new magic. A demon's soul is no mere amalgamation of lesser souls. You have your wits about you. Surely you understand. Do you have a connection to the disciples? Do not pay any attention to them if they speak poorly of me and my magic. Prayer is for the foolish, quaint, and soon-to-be dead. And heaven forbid the day you find out what their so-called God really is. I was defeated and captured by the Golden Usurper past that cell. Be wary of him, for he manipulates souls. He has power over vile, murky souls, those susceptible to madness and paranoia. I know of 3 humans who came to Leeds. King Allant of Boletaria, Astraea of the Valley of Defilement, and the Golden Usurper of Latria. There's no question that they became demons, but we were wrong to assume that they ceased to be human. He has power over fire.
So he mentions the Golden Usurper that the jailed woman mentioned. And also creates a cloud of acid. The idol was a perfect likeness of the late Queen of Latria. The spell offers a small glimpse of the power of this accomplished magician. So we finally have a use for these boss souls, or at least one possible use for them. Creates a poisonous cloud. Fires a common form of attack. Nope. Nothing interesting there.
I am fully prepared. I can still be patient, my fine magician friend.
He also says something interesting about them finding out what their god truly is. Which, just tuck that away.
May the heavens give us.
I swear that he fooled.
Alright, so I think that is going to do it for today. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one, everyone.